Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this Principals presentation as part of our virtual open event here at Haywards Heath for January 21. I'm Paul Riley, the Principal of both Worthing and Haywards Heath College, and I'm delighted to be joined this evening by my colleague Ben Fry, the Vice Principal at Haywards Heath College. Thank you for joining us this evening in these rather unprecedented times of remote working and learning. You may have come with some questions to ask us or questions that might arise throughout the evening during the presentation. If so, please use the Q&A function to ask your questions and we will try to do our best to answer them at the end of the presentation. If you have any technical difficulties in accessing the presentation, please use the chat function and one of our team will try to assist you. This presentation will be recorded and published on our website, so you'll be able to view at a later date at your leisure. Next slide, please. In this session this evening, we will give you an insight into Haywards Heath College, exploring the different study options available to you, as well as the wealth of support we offer our students in a truly inclusive environment. Next slide, please. Worthing College and Haywards Heath College are very proud to be part of the Chichester College Group, which comprises 5 colleges: Chichester, Brinsbury, Crawley, Haywards Heath and Worthing. As such, it is the largest college group in Sussex. Next slide, please. The Chichester College Group has a budget of over £60 million per annum, employs over 1,500 staff, and we educate over 6,000 16 to 18-year-old students across our 5 colleges and some 20,000 students in total. We have courses covering all 15 of the government-defined programme areas with provision from foundation level to high national diploma and foundation degrees. Next slide, please. In March 2020, Chichester College Group was judged to be outstanding in all aspects of inspection by Ofsted. We were truly delighted with this outcome as testament to the truly outstanding delivery of teaching and learning and support services we provide, which leads to amazing results and experiences for our students as we deliver our mission of changing lives through learning. Next slide, please. One of the key benefits of being part of the Chichester College Group, as testified to by Ofsted, is the tremendous commitment we have to listening to the voice of our students through our Student Union Executive, which is extremely proactive in gathering student voice about their teaching and learning and wider experiences. That experience is second to none in the provision of trips within the UK and around the world, both within subject areas and across an individual college like Haywards Heath, and indeed across the group. Volunteering opportunities are also available in your local area and abroad, including a tremendous opportunity for an annual trip to Kenya, subject of course to the travel restrictions that currently exist. All of these experiences are massively adding to the enrichment experience of our students, and we call this Haywards Heath Extra. If you choose Haywards Heath as your college of choice for September 21, we would encourage you to maximise your extra experience. At this point, I'm going to hand over to my colleague Ben to take you through the rest of the presentation.
Many thanks, Paul, and a warm welcome to everyone on this cold January evening. I'm just going to take you through over the next few slides and tell you a little bit about our broad and varied curriculum here at Haywards Heath College that we offer. I'm also going to tell you a little bit about the ACES programme and a few of the other elements that are built in to support our students and to ultimately help them to succeed whilst they're here. So first of all, you can see from the slide we have up here our ACES programme. We have an outstanding team of student tutors who offer support on demand for our students. You will have regular one-to-ones throughout the year. We call them your critical friend, but really they are there to support you, to advise you, to be your advocate, to challenge you, all of the above. They will help you with your transition from school and make that as seamless as possible, because there are a number of changes and things that are different from school to college. They will help you during your time here, and ultimately they will help you find the right progression path for you. They run a session once a week as part of the ACES programme, which stands for, as you can see on the screen, their attitudes, choices, employability, skills. And these take the form of a variety of things, but typically discussions and debates around key topics, and they work through some really practical skills alongside your courses. I was taking part in one today, and they were looking at financing when you leave college, so opening a bank account, how much various things cost. Another example was a debate and decide session, which was run purely around, I think they looked at the £12 billion for COVID from the government and how that should be spent. And the group spent the session debating that and coming up with a decision. So a lot of those skills that go hand in hand alongside the programs that we offer here at level 3 and level 2. Next slide, please. We also have something called Progression Plus, which is exactly that. It is something additional, something extra. It is alongside the student tutor support, and it is there to ensure that clear progression pathway, stepping stone from here when you leave college. We have a dedicated Progression Plus advisors who support you in that process while you're here in seeking employment, university applications, work experience, essentially helping you find the right career path for you. Some of the opportunities students have had access to recently, I'll just list a few of those, but they've had a variety of things from student workshops, a live stream from Imperial College about surgical careers, medical essay competition, Oxford and Cambridge virtual conferences coming up in March, UK apprenticeship virtual fair, careers in the NHS as part of the NHS Careers Mapper, alongside a host of other things. And these are just the things that have come through this week for our students here. And next slide, please. We also believe that Maths and English GCSE are at the bedrock of any progression route, and we work really hard here with students to help them to achieve those results, to ensure those routes into HE, to employment or apprenticeships, that they all remain open for them. Those students who come to us who have just missed out on a grade 4 perhaps at school in Maths or English will usually take the GCSE alongside their other program of courses. So it could be they're taking Maths alongside their other applied A-levels. We have an opportunity to resit those in normal times in November and in the summer. So there's a I suppose aspiration for those who want to get it early as they continue their time with us. We're also part of a campaign, you can see it on the right-hand side there, the I Love Maths and English campaign. It's a campaign we run right across the group here at CCG, and really it's the essence of it is important for us, not just that students get these qualifications, because they are hugely important in whatever you go on to do next, but they also go away with a really positive experience of these subjects and that they can use going forward. Next slide, please. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about our variety of course programs that we offer here, and you can see the 4 elements there I'm just going to take you through. But essentially you'll be able to choose your combination, if you like, when you come to study at Haywards Heath College, and they range from progression of your favourite subjects that you study at school already. So that could be, A-level PE or chemistry or maths or photography. But there's also a suite of new subjects that you won't necessarily come across before. So economics, politics, sociology, environmental science, for example. And they're all really interesting and exciting subjects. And it's just about, for you, finding out what the right course is for you and how they're assessed. We also have a suite of vocational diplomas, and what we mean by vocational diploma is an applied A-level, if you like. They can be studied as an equivalent to an A-level, either 1 A-level, 2 A-levels, or 3 A-levels. They combine coursework assessed units alongside exam assessed units with really similar content to the A-levels actually, but just it's the assessment that is different in those applied A-levels where the assessment happens throughout the year. And so for you, it's just about making that decision on what works best for you, what's going to help you to achieve the results you're capable of. The content across both, as I said, is actually very similar. It's just the style of assessment. We also, as you can see there, run apprenticeships, and Paul's going to speak a little bit more about those later on in the presentation. But it's an opportunity to earn as you learn. We run apprenticeships across the group from level 2 right up to sort of foundation degree level. So again, a broad range of apprenticeships available here across the group, and we use our 5 campuses to explore those. The mixed economy is perhaps one of the unique selling points of Haywards Heath College and indeed CCG. It gives you the opportunity, gives you the flexibility to pick 3 A-levels, if that's what you'd like, or an A-level alongside 2 applied A-levels, or a completely different package or program that's right for you and that allows you to achieve in the subjects that you want to do well on and that you want to go on and do something in the future, perhaps. These are, we regularly review our courses over the year, and I would just say, keep an eye on our website and our social media channels for new courses that we will be promoting for a September 2021 start, for example. So keep an eye out for those, because there are some good ones, even better ones coming on the horizon. Next slide, please. So A-levels, and this is our, the sort of standard, if you like, for the sixth form college, and in the past have been the subject-based qualifications. They are the ones that traditionally classroom-based qualifications. You have an opportunity to choose 3 A-levels, and you study those over 2 years with us. They are largely exam-based assessments, which means you take exams at the end of the 2 years here across all that content knowledge, and they come with UCAS points. So depending on the grade you achieve in that A-level, it determines the UCAS points you get, and then it opens up opportunities for you through that application system to universities. Next slide, please. As I said earlier, our vocational applied general qualifications, these help you to build practical and technical knowledge, and this slightly different in the delivery in terms it tends to be classroom-based learning, but alongside workshop learning. So the assessments will be around projects or assignments or assessments, slightly different from exam-based and the A-levels. They have a number of examined units or coursework units across the 2 years that you'll be assessed in as you go. We run level 2 courses, similar to perhaps some of you have done in the GCSEs, and we run something called a step-up course. I'll take you through it in a moment, as well as our level 3 courses, and you can do those as a 1, 2, or 3 A-level equivalent. So they can be mixed and matched, if you like, with your A-levels, or they can be your full complement, depending on how clear an idea that you have going forward to your next steps. They also qualify for UCAS points. They're seen exactly the same in terms of universities, in terms of university applications and courses, and they are a great route for certain students. Next slide, please. And something we started this year and is in train, our step up course. It's a level 2 course, and it is just that, really, a step up from school, and it's a kind of a stepping stone into those level 3 courses for those who aren't quite ready yet. It's a really exciting course. It's made up of a number of different units, and students get a taster from business and leisure and tourism and healthcare and science and sport, all mixed into one, alongside design and other elements as well. This is assessed as you go, so you have units in this as you go. Allows students to retake maths and English as required alongside that. It comes with academic skills support sessions, both in maths and English, but also those more generic important skills that will allow you to succeed on an A-level or applied general the following year. One of the best things I think about the step up qualification is, as of February, so this year's group will be then going into A-level subjects, and they'll be sitting in those subjects, getting a taster of them, doing the work, having a look at the content, so they can get an idea of what subjects they want to choose. And we found that's a really strong carrot, if you like, for those students who want to go on and study those subjects. But it also gives them a great idea and helps them to make informed choices in the second and third year of their program here with us. As you can see, there's a minimum of 2 3s at GCSE, and it's a stepping stone to those level 3 qualifications. Next slide, please. Paul, over to you on apprenticeships.
Thank you, Ben. And can I just alert folks that we're coming to the end of our presentation. This is our last formal slide. I know there's no questions being posted yet, so if you've got any last minute questions, now's the time to post them as I'm coming through this slide. So apprenticeships are a very fast growing area of interest as a progression opportunity to students in Year 11. as an opportunity, as a school leavers opportunity, or indeed as an opportunity that you might progress on to after a course at college. So what are apprenticeships? Well, they're very much about a real job. You learn while you earn. In that it's a job where you're paid, you're an employee of the organisation who would be the host apprenticeship employer for you. One of the key features which has grown in terms of apprenticeship provision is that you do work-based learning through what we refer to as the 20% off-the-job training. Now that work-based learning might be in the workplace, or it might indeed be at college, or it might adopt a blended learning approach where you're doing some in college, in the workplace, or indeed online or through workbooks and so on. So this is a really unique opportunity for many students, and it absolutely fits the bill for some students in terms of their progression choice, especially if you are not seeking to progress on to university, but are looking for a work-based route. They're available from level 2 through to degree level apprenticeships. So that pathway is now there to see this as your route through education, right the way through, as I said, from level 2 to degree level. The Chichester College Group in itself has the highest achievement rates for apprenticeships in Sussex and Hampshire, and has been recently voted one of the top 50 providers of apprenticeship provision in the country, which is amazing. So all the opportunities for apprenticeship are accessible through the Haywards Heath website, and they're listed as the A to Z of apprenticeships on the chichester.ac.uk website as well. If you've got any queries or information requirements in relation to apprenticeships, the email is apprenticeships@chichester.ac.uk, and you'll be able to get much more information through that email and through the opportunities that arise from making contact about apprenticeship opportunities. So that's an opportunity, as I said, if you're a school leaver, or indeed you're looking for apprenticeships as a progression route beyond college. So final slide, please. So this is just a thank you for attending tonight's webinar. I'm just going to have one more look at the Q&A, and then we can see what's there. So there's a couple of questions being posted. So I'll begin with the first one. How many students are at the college? Okay, so this year we've got about 290 students at Haywards Heath College, and we've already had nearly 700 applications for 2021, which is amazing to see coming through. So that's the sort of current numbers. Is there any chance that A-level statistics will be offered at Haywards Heath College? We are exploring opportunities in addition to A-level mathematics. That could be either the core maths or statistics A-level. So I can't give a guarantee yet, but as Ben alluded to earlier on, please do keep an eye on our website updates and social media feeds, because we're going through a program of course-based planning for September 21 and indeed September 22 right now. So if we decide to put on statistics, we will definitely advertise that, and we'll be picking that up through applications and interview processes throughout the remainder of this academic year. Ben, would you like to pick up one more of the questions?
Thanks, Paul. Yep, statistics definitely in the mix. I won't give too much away, but definitely in the mix. Sean said, do the students get confirmation of their conditional offer at the end of their course guidance meeting? Sean, it's a really good question, actually. And for anyone who is yet to have their course guidance meetings, you can book those on Microsoft, on our booking site. And you should have that in your application email. And yes, you do. You get it a couple of days later or 24 hours later. So you'll get an email which outlines the offer and the conditional offer around your GCSE predictions and the course choices you want to do. And it just tells you a little bit about the next steps as well, Sean. So if you've had yours recently or perhaps today, you should get that in the next 24 hours from our admissions team. What is the maximum number of students you can take each year? It's a really good question. There's not really a maximum at the moment. We've got sort of over 600 applications for this year, which we're really excited about, and we intend to take. If they all decide they want to come, we would take them all. So we are a growing establishment, and we've got space at the moment to fill that. Paul, do you want to pick up a couple of?
Yeah, can I pick up the question from Lily? How long does the step-up course last? It's a year-long course, Lily. What's really good about it, in terms of just reflecting back some of the points Ben made, is that integration of opportunity to look into other provision, which is at the level 3 level, so going into A-level classes or advanced vocational diplomas, or indeed looking at apprenticeship opportunities within that period as well. It's a real opportunity, and we build that in between February and April as part of that year-long programme of study. So I hope that answers your question. And a question from Lisa, just move that. My son hasn't heard about his interview yet. Are we likely to hear soon? Ben, can you update?
Yeah, perhaps I could pick that up. Actually, there's a couple of people have just asked a similar question, actually. So, yeah, Wendy and Louise, yes, they will absolutely. A number of interviews slots were launched today, so they should have actually had an email this week from admissions. So if you think you should have received something you haven't, if you email info@haywardsheath.ac.uk, they will be able to pick that up for you. And perhaps I'll just pass over to you, Paul, to pick up another couple now they're coming through.
Okay. So a question from Louise. What happens if your child doesn't know what they want to do or what route is best for them? This is all new to us. Okay, absolutely, Louise. I totally understand that, and we understand that as a group as well. So what happens is when you come for your course guidance meeting, you'll have selected some potential opportunities of courses that you're interested in, and there will be a discussion about what your progression ideas are. Indeed, if you've got a specific idea, we might look at the efficacy of whether the choices that you've made on your form actually would get you that progression opportunity, or it would be a challenge, and therefore alternatives will be advised. If you come to the course guidance meeting not having any direct progression plan, what we'd look for is breadth, to really play to your strengths as much as possible and give you a broad mix of experiences so that you can get the most out of all the opportunities that exist in the college. So do not be fearful about not having a defined progression plan. But one of the things I would say to you is that we will be working with students in that situation quite early on to identify what their vision is, what for progression beyond their courses of choice at college, so that we start to build that pathway of progression as a vision for you as an individual student. Okay. Just looking down at some of the other question from Kelly.
Perhaps I could pick up just a couple of things, because a couple more come through about interviews and acceptances, so I'll just pick those up as well. So I think from Wendy, when are the interviews? Wendy, the interviews, we started those in November, and actually they're running at the moment, they're live. So we're running them over the next 4 weeks. We've got a number of slots. So as I said, you should have received an email with regards to that, and we'll get that booked in for you. But Wendy, if you put your information in chat, I'll make sure that your whether it's you or your son and daughter are invited in for that interview. And I think that hopefully answers the other one as well, which was, do we get an email if we've been accepted? Yes, you do. So that you would have an interview or course guidance meeting around the support decision. And at the end of that, whoever's doing it with you, whether it might be myself or one of our teachers, staff teachers here, will offer you, accept you, and you will be sent an email with that information on it 24 hours afterwards.
Ben, would you like to pick up the question from Sabine about A-level PE and the sports facilities?
Yeah, fantastic. I suppose, Sabine, the best thing to do is just watch the Sports Academy presentation tonight. A little plug at 6:30, which will give some of that information. Emma Gardner, who's our A-level PE teacher actually, and she runs our Netball Academy this year, is doing that. But we have so literally just across the way from the college are Harlands pitches. So we have a football pitch, a rugby pitch, and a training pitch there. And we will go over the choice of sports. We run 4 sports academy, netball, basketball, rugby and football. And we also do a number of other sports, co-curricular sports in our sports hall, badminton and table tennis and all those other ones. And we take part in the AOC, the Association of College Competitions, and some of those individual sports as well. But I would definitely, Sabine, say have a look at the presentation, either the recorded one from before Christmas or our presentation tonight at 6:30.
Just pick up on the question from Fergus about opportunities to take extracurricular activities. It's been quite challenging, Fergus, during the lockdown. We've been working remotely in terms of the provision of extracurricular activities. But as I've alluded to earlier on in the presentation, we have this Haywards Heath Extra opportunities list, and that is developed through curriculum and across college as well. There's a huge range of activities when we're up and running normally that will be available to students, but also during this remote period, we're extending those opportunities for remote delivery. So please do look out for those opportunities. And one of the things that is really important to recognise is in previous virtual events, we've done subject-based introductions where they're given an insight. So please do look on the website for previous virtual event updates. I think somebody else asked that question about previous webinars and anonymous attendee tonight. So I hope that answers that there. And just one more, let's look at the bottom. Zansha Blake, how do we know when we have been accepted? So you'll get an email, and I think that answers another attendee's question as well. You'll get an email to say you've had your course guidance meeting and we're offering you a place at the college on your courses of choice. Okay.
Well, can I don't know if you answered this one, sorry if I missed it, but Ellie West Wilson about the typical day, start and finish time.
No, I didn't answer
do that. I think it's a really good question. I think a lot of people would like to hear that. So a typical our day here from college, our first lessons at 8:30, and then the lessons finish at 4:05. But I suppose the big difference between college and school is that you haven't got to be in all the time. You're not expected in every day at 8:30. You come in for your lessons. So we have 3 2-hour lessons a day, one starting at 8:30, one starting at 11, and one starting at 10 to 2. Those are your 3 lessons, and you have free periods, or as I like to call them, study periods, where you do your independent study around those for your subjects. So the typical day is 8:30 to 4:05, but you will have study periods where you're not in lessons in the middle of the day, or perhaps at the end of the day.
Can I pick up on the rather than a question, a statement from Louise about my child is very shy, so word may not come across well in course guidance meetings. Louise, please tell your son or daughter not to worry about that. The course guidance meeting is to understand your needs as a learner and your aspirations in terms of what you want to study and what you want to progress on to. If there's confidence issues, if the student is shy, do not worry about that. We'll overlook that in total communication with the student in terms of looking at them as an individual. So please don't worry about that if you're shy or nervous about the course guidance meeting. And to signpost, there's really nothing to worry about. It's just a discussion. It's not some kind of test or assessment of ability. It's really just looking at you as an individual student and what you want out of a college experience. So I hope that answers that.
I'll just signpost, Paul, just had a couple of questions. Actually, all of these webinars, all these recordings are on our website. So if you go into the website and it says open events, and it gives you then a list of all the previous subject specific webinars, but also the ones from this evening. But also on the website, you'll find all the latest course information and the subject requirements, so you can start having a look at those perhaps before your course guidance meeting, or as you start to think about making that application.
And just answer one final question, if I may, from an anonymous attendee. Is there any type of tutor session or tutor time? Yes, so there's a weekly session. It's called the ACES session, which Ben referenced earlier on. And this is the Attitudes, Choices, Employability and Skills program, an opportunity for the tutor to meet their tutees on a weekly basis. So that exists as part of the study program opportunities available at Haywards Heath. So at that point, folks, I'm going to end our virtual event this evening and just say thank you very much for participating, and the very best of luck in your application to Haywards Heath College. All the best.